Hello, hello, and welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert. Last time we defeated Mr. Pierce with an icy blade, and this time we're moving on to Case 2 of The Walking Dead. Didn't know this game had zombies in it. Let me go! I'm not going anywhere until I see her. I'm sorry, Wallace, but she's already passed. There was nothing more they could have done. How? This academy teaches the best mages in the kingdom. Are you telling me that they couldn't do anything? Her condition was much worse than we thought. The kingdom's magic isn't advanced enough to treat something like this. Lucio Steelwind can rain meteors from the sky. William Frieger can teleport entire caravans across the continent. Are you telling me that your mages couldn't cure one disease? I'm sorry. I truly am. Emily. I'm sorry, Celeste, but there's no way out of this. More chess. Just give me a second, I can still win this. Celeste, there's no way for you to avoid checkmate next turn. Just surrender, or flip over the board. There! What about that? Checkmate. Damn it! Would you two keep it down? We are in a library. I can see that. It's a rather impressive looking library as well. I hope you didn't spend the entire morning playing around. I've been working hard, Ruby. I've already learned 2 new spell formulas since we got here. Well, at least there's that. What about you, Cuthbert? Well... I couldn't find any books about the subject we've been looking into. Does the kingdom seriously lack knowledge about it? Or do we need to look somewhere else? Are you sure you can't tell me what you're researching? I've travelled around the world. I might have seen something like it. Sorry, it's not something I can really talk about. Fine. If I had to guess, I'd say they were looking into supernatural phenomena, says somebody. I'm terribly sorry if I startled you, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Eris, you can't just... I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine, Wallace. I'm sorry, but who are you two? Sorry, that was incredibly rude of me. My name is Eris Ilmater. Indeed it is, apparently. And this is Wallace Nightgrave. We're both students here. Hi? Not to be rude, but that was a private conversation. Just how much did you hear? I wonder. Reading about the supernatural is actually a hobby of mine. I might be able to help you with your research, Mr. Cuthbert. And what makes you so sure that that is what we are researching? Mr. Cuthbert has a bad habit of muttering to himself when he thinks. I assume that his research had something to do with the supernatural. What happened to your hands? But anyways, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? I'm a defense attorney. It's what I do. Wait, fine, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. And what was that just now? Just remember to show some discretion, Tyrion. Right. Right. Yes, this isn't suspicious at all. But first, there are things to look at, like books. Libraries too tend to contain a lot of books, yes. Globes. 4 of them, in fact. It's a globe of the world. It's amazing how many other nations there are aside from Wavengard. I've been to most of these places. You should come with me next time, Tyrion. Books, books, and more books. Everywhere there are books, and everywhere I can look at them. Well, I don't think there's too much to look at besides books. There's some posters. Voice lines. And some tables. It's a table. They may have trouble sitting at it without any chairs, though. I don't see any of those, only tables. So either you're going to have to sit on top of the table, or you're fresh out of luck. Move nowhere. I have a runestone. You're already resorting to presenting me things? We've only just started. I only think you're overthinking things. What? Or do you simply want to see all the unique things that I have to say? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not some script for you to toy around with. Feel free to try again later, though. Yeah, okay, Monica. So, you two are students at the Imperial Academy? Yes, I'm currently studying illusion magic. Illusions? That's the kind of magic that lets you turn invisible, right? Technically, yes, but few mages ever reach a level high enough for that. I'm a bit embarrassed to admit that I'm not able to cast invisibility. That's still pretty cool. What about you, Wallace? Wallace has his own unique field of study. Yeah, necromancy, apparently. Everyone's talking about you two. Really? It's rare for the school to let any outsiders in. We only ever get occasional visits from the noble houses, so I was curious as to who was able to break this dull monotony. Well, I'm a mercenary, but now I work as Tyrion's bodyguard. But mercenary? Makes sense. Anyways, I'm a defense attorney. A defense attorney? My apologies, it's just not what I was expecting. Supernatural phenomena. I wonder why you would be researching such a thing. Yeah, I want to know too. I'm sorry, but I really can't say. Regardless, there are many spells in this world. So why are you so convinced that this phenomenon wasn't produced by a spell? What we're looking into doesn't seem to follow the classical rules of magic. Oh? How so? Please tell me. It was created by someone who's not a mage? Oh, really? So you're saying that this was something created by a person? That does remind me of a story. A story? Mr. Cuthbert, do you know the legend about how the Kingdom of Wyvengard was created? You mean the story about the ancient dragons? The ancient what? Does Wyvengard have a story about ancient dragons? It's only about one ancient dragon. The Church of Bahamut refers to him as the Scaled Lord. I'm sure you've even heard people mention him before. Legends say that the first mages were created centuries ago by him. At that time, our kingdom was caught in the middle of a brutal war. With no way to defend themselves, the kingdom was on the brink of destruction. Our people prayed to Bahamut, the god of dragons, for salvation. And, almost as if to answer their prayers, Rathalon, the last Scaled Lord, appeared before them. The Scaled Lord bestowed the gift of magic on a band of heroes who were fighting on the front lines. With their magic, these heroes utterly overtook the kingdom's enemies and single-handedly won the war. It's said that these heroes went on to form the noble houses of today. What a load of nonsense. That story is nothing but religious propaganda to prop up the noble houses. Regardless, the significance of this legend is in the Scaled Lord himself. You mean Rathalon? Rathalon bestowed the power to become a mage on several individuals. And to this day, that power can only be passed down genetically. Can you think of an arcane spell that could produce something like that? No, I suppose not. Rathalon must have had powers that weren't bound by the rules of the arcane arts. In other words, he could create supernatural phenomena without following the rules of magic. Please, do you honestly expect us to believe a story like that? It's completely unrealistic. As unrealistic as a non-mage using supernatural powers. Of course, it would be you lot making all of this noise. Hello. Professor Bellwether? That's what he said. That's what he said. I knew letting you rubble into our walls would lead to nothing but trouble. You've even started associating with our malcontents. The headmaster gave us express permission to be here. If you have an issue with that, take it up with him. I'll have you know that I was on my way to do just that. Wallace. Yes? How am I supposed to understand you when you're stuttering? Yes, Professor Bellwether. Straighten out your uniform and fix that awful hair. You look like a street urchin. I suppose it's unreasonable to expect anything more. I'll be on my way. Uh-huh. 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 Celeste! Oh, come on, we're all thinking it. Anyways, with that out of the way, shall we begin? What? Wallace, you finished this week's assignment, haven't you? Would you mind helping Celeste with her research? I don't know. Now that you mention it, I could really use some help finding a specific spell formula. You know your way around here, right, Wallace? Okay. Don't worry, Mr. Mora. I'll be more careful from now on. Please do. I still have some business to take care of here, so I'll leave you all to it. Shelves. There are a lot of myths and stories about the ancient dragons, but it's pretty difficult to tell fact from fiction with these accounts. It can't be helped, the Church of Bahamut is the dominant religion of our kingdom. We have the bones of dragons displayed in museums, but those bones are the only widely known evidence of the dragon's existence. Except for Rathalon. Possibly. I wonder if he's still alive, like you said. I wouldn't be surprised. Despite everything, our kingdom's constitution still includes him in our government. Wait, really? As the saviour of our kingdom, he and his kin were given an honorary position in our political hierarchy. Ancient dragons authoritatively, technically rivals that of King Oliver. Wow, I had no idea. Have I never heard of this before? To be honest, that law is just a way to revere him and appease the church. Ah! Be quiet! Yells the distant voice. Sorry. I'm quiet! Hey, are you okay? I heard a loud... Whoa. What did you do? Forget that, just help me clean this up. There's no need for that. Construct, I require assistance. Acknowledged. Well, hello there. You appeared out of nowhere. What? Wait, did you do that, Eris? Yep, this is an arcane construct. It's a suit of armor that's animated using artificery. They're designed to carry out various tasks for the students. Suits of armor that are animated using artificery can carry out simple tasks when ordered to. The ones in the Imperial Academy speak using the voice of Catherine Bellwether. Voice lines can only be changed or adjusted by the Academy headmaster. Every command given to a construct is stored in its command log, however it must be cleared regularly. It's a robot, basically. Really? I didn't know anything like that existed. They're still experimental, so they aren't available to the public yet. With that being said, Construct, please place these books back where they belong. Acknowledged. Neat. Wow. So they do whatever you tell them to? Well, there are some limits to... Construct, tell me that I'm the fairest maiden you've ever seen. Command rejected. Oh, what? I guess they're not allowed to lie. The Construct's voice is just a series of pre-recorded messages. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it uses the voice of Professor Bellwether. Unfortunately, you can't make them say anything other than what's recorded. Only the headmaster can change those settings. Artificery that can record audio. I've never seen anything like it. But you just said that they're experimental, right? Maybe if I keep asking it, it'll just give up and do it. I would advise against that. Even if the commands are rejected, they're still stored in the Construct's command logs. Anyways, we should probably get back to work. Fine. Don't feel like I'm making any progress. do you hear that? Ugh, how can I not? What is that? You didn't touch anything you weren't supposed to, right? What? Of course not! It finally stopped. Eris, wasn't that the lockdown system? Yes, I believe so. Lockdown system? The Academy is outfitted with a large artificery system. In a state of emergency, it will erect magical barriers throughout the building. State of emergency? Should we be worried? Don't worry, the lockdown is designed to keep everyone safe. We're safe as long as the barriers are up. I'm terribly sorry. It's the headmaster. He's using the intercom system. Students and faculty, please remain calm. There's been a murder on the academy grounds. What? Please stay where you are and wait for law enforcement to arrive. We have to get out of here. I'm afraid that's not possible. The lockdown system protects and locks each room. You can't leave this room until it's deactivated. But, well, we won't know until we try. Tyrion, stop! But, Mr. Mora! I know that you're worried about her, but there's already been a murder. We don't know where the attacker is, or if they're still armed. The best thing we can do right now is stay here and wait. She is the bodyguard, after all. Damn it. Wow. We've been here for hours, and she still hasn't stopped watching the door. What? Students and faculty, thank you for your patience. Law enforcement has secured the building. The lockdown has been lifted. However, please remain in the building until... Tyrion? Hey, don't go off on your own. No. No. Miss Tamora? Miss Tamora, where are you? Ah, there she is. Cuthbert? What's wrong? Why are you shouting? Miss Tamora! Calm down, you're hyperventilating. I heard there was a murder and I've been looking all over for you. And you were worried about me? Just... Tyrion! There you are. And you're crying. Sorry, I didn't mean to worry you so much. We heard the announcement. Do you know what happened, Ruby? I do, but... For now, I think we should head to the foyer. Well, there are more people to look at. Artistic representations of people, I mean. Statue and painting alike. Is that the Inquisition? Don't tell me. The headmaster mentioned that there was a murder on campus. Someone used magic. Hey! You there! Hello again. Huh? Are you Wallace Nightgrave? Yes, but... By the authority of the Wyvern Guard Crown, I'm placing you under arrest. Hey, what are you doing? You three? The hell are you doing here? You said he was under arrest? On what charges? This kid is charged with the murder of Catherine Bellwether. What? It was. Like hell you're arresting him. He was with us in the library for the entire morning. There's no way he could have murdered her. Move aside, Celeste. But... Mr. Moore is right. If Wallace is a suspect, we can't stop the Inquisition from arresting him. No. Don't worry, Wallace. We'll get to the bottom of what happened. My apologies. I'm going to go and check on him. This is terrible. I still don't understand. Why do they suspect Wallace of all people? I'm not sure myself. Like most magical homicides, this school is filled with plenty of mages. There has to be a long list of suspects. Isn't there anything we can do? I'm gonna go investigate what happened. Cuthbert... yes? He hasn't accepted you as his attorney yet. You don't even know if you'll be working this case. But I know that he's innocent. I just can't sit here and do nothing. Ugh. Well, I clearly can't stop you. But please remember that being attorney is your job, it's not charity work. Like, some people would have you believe. How many people have actually paid you, Phoenix? Don't come crying to me if you run out of gold. Right. Anyways, I still have some business to take care of in the city. Will you two be okay handling this? Yes, we'll take care of this. Good. I'll leave everything to you then. Alright, let's go, Celeste. Right. Where exactly we are going, I'm not sure. Let's use a different save slot for no particular reason. That took longer than I expected. We've already lost a lot of time talking to the Inquisition, but we should be free to roam around now. Where should we go first? The crime scene sounds like a good start. We still need to figure out what actually happened. Ruby said that the body was found in Lecture Hall 2B. It's in the west wing of the school. What about not 2B? That does seem like a good place to start. I'm an attorney. What do you think about this? Sorry, Tyrion. I don't think I can help you with that. Well, you are the generic assistant, and therefore have the generic assistant chat options. Hope Wallace is okay. He looked pretty scared when Commander White arrested him. Don't worry, we'll find out what really happened. Where should we go next? The first thing we need to do is find out exactly what happened. Mr. Moore said that the body was found in Lecture Hall 2B. We should start our investigation there. Or I could examine the interesting things in this hall, which are all right near the very middle of the stream. The rest of the room is pretty bare. Left to right. It's a painting of a man with some sort of creature on his arm. Some text under it. Dr. Delbit Tapheros, a mage, historian, archaeologist, anthropologist, and botanist. Best known for his work in studying the history of the ancient dragons. Through his work, great leaps were made in the study and development of the School of Evocation. On his arm is one of the last pseudo-dragons, which have now gone extinct. It's a painting of a professor with some kind of magical tool. Some text. Dr. Paul Valoria. Also known as the Archaeologist of the North. He spent many years studying and exploring the mountainous regions of Chardalon, and through his investigation he came upon one of the many lairs of the Scaled Lord. He was honoured both by the Church and the Woven Guard Historical Society for his impressive discovery. It's a statue. There's some writing on the plinth. Gillian Chemnitz, the inventor of early artificery. So this guy is the one who invented it. You'd have thought that we could use machines to harness magical energy. Artificery is truly a marvellous invention, whether anyone can utilise the convenience of magic without having noble blood. But that expression on his statue kind of looks like he doesn't want to be here, even though his statue is huge. Well, I think that's all we can see here. Hey! Stop right there! Hello there, generic knight. I'm the defense attorney for the accused. We have a right to investigate the crime scene. No, you're not. You haven't officially taken the case yet. Yeah, from what I've heard, the kid doesn't have an attorney yet. Exactly. He's not wrong. It's quite alright. Let them in. But Lady Steelwind? Do not call me that. While you work under me, you will address me as Prosecutor Steelwind. Yes, Lord Prosecutor Steelwind. Ugh, what's that smell? Don't worry, you eventually get used to the smell. What are you even doing here, Steelwind? I'm here to coordinate the investigation. Isn't that the Inquisition's job? Due to the circumstances, I've decided to handle this case personally. Well, since we've got you here, could we ask you some questions about what happened? Can I assume that you're planning to defend this case? That would make you my opponent. What do I have to gain from helping you? Right. However, I would be willing to answer your questions, but only if you answer some of mine as well. Oh, okay. Seems a fair trade to me. But first, I'm an attorney. What do you think about this, Miss Steelwind? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't say much about that. Miss McCoy, it's my understanding you're adopted. Do you happen to know who your birth parents are? Hey, isn't that too personal of a question? You agreed to answer my questions, didn't you? But I didn't think you meant... It's fine, Tyrion. I'm fine with answering if it helps Wallace. I don't know who my birth parents are. I've never tried looking for them. I see. If I recall correctly, your spell compendium only contained one spell. Considering your upbringing, how did you learn Mage Blade in the first place? I bought a scroll from the merchant a few years ago. It had Mage Blade's spell formula on it. I know more than one spell now. Actually, just learned a few new spells. Today. I'm sorry, spells? As in plural? How long did it take you to learn these spells? A few hours, I think. Yeah, judging by the fact that Mr. Pierce had only 5, and he's supposed to be a high-ranking noble who's been doing this for goodness knows how long, learning 2 in one day is probably, very, very rare. I see. Well, I think that's all I need to ask for now. Okay. Ugh, I can't take it anymore. That smell is driving me crazy. What is that? From what I understand, there was a bit of an accident a few days ago. It happened during one of the classes that the headmaster was teaching. He misread the instructions for an alchemy experiment. And as a result, he accidentally produced this rancid-smelling vapour. Vapour? It's not poisonous, is it? Of course not. I wouldn't be standing here if it were. It's just extremely unpleasant to the senses. Nothing really new in that description that we haven't already just heard. Do you know what happened here, Steelwind? Well, it all began when the City Watch received a call from the Academy. Supposedly, there was an attack on campus grounds and the entire building was put on lockdown. The City Watch set up a perimeter around the building while they waited for the system to deactivate. What? Couldn't the Academy have let them in once the scene was secure? I'm not sure about the specifics, but supposedly the lockdown can't be shut down manually. You'll have to ask one of the Academy's admins if you want to know more. Anyways, you two were also present during the lockdown, am I correct? Did either of you see anything suspicious? No, but we actually met the Professor that morning. She was still alive then. I see. That does match with the accounts from our other witnesses. Do you have any idea where she went after she left the library? Yeah, off to the headmaster. I remember. I do not require the flashback. She said that she was going to meet with the headmaster. He also mentioned that when I questioned him. She attended the meeting as planned. She must have found her way into this classroom afterward. Would you happen to have a map of the Academy? I do. I have extra copies if you'd like one. Okay, we have a long corridor which has all the lecture halls in it. Storage closet at the end. There's a kitchen. Place appears to be symmetrical. The ones on this side are further down the alphabet because we have 2J over here. What is it? There's only one direct path from the headmaster's office to this lecture hall. But I wonder if she took any detours. Hold on. I would like a better look at this full thing without the dialogue covering the bottom portion of the screen. The Imperial Library is where we were, that is down here. There's a kitchen en route. Which is probably relevant, judging by the fact it's on the map whatsoever. And there's the headmaster's office over here. Nothing terribly interesting to look at there. Do you know how the body was discovered? 2 members of the kitchen staff spotted her collapsed inside this classroom. They reported the situation to the campus admin where they attempted to save her life. But it was too late. The professor had already passed away by the time any healers arrived. Those 2 staff members, who were they? I believe their names were Valentina and Valerie Ineus. They're apparently sisters. Warren was the one who collected their statements. Did he notice anything off about their behaviour? From what he said, they had a few quirks, but nothing too suspicious. Quirks? He told me they were running and spinning around him during questioning. What does that mean? I have no idea. Perhaps they were still on edge after finding their co-worker murdered. Well, we have plenty of other people to talk to. We already told the Inquisition this, but Wallace was with us the entire time. He couldn't have committed the murder. Yeah, he has a perfect alibi. Strong, maybe, but his alibi is far from perfect. Miss McCoy herself told us that. There was a small time period when she wasn't with him. What? It's true. Right, it was when I came to check on you after you knocked over that shelf. I got a little lost on my way back to Wallace. And he wasn't there for that conversation, I do remember that much. But still, we only lost each other for a few minutes. That may be, but unless his alibi is airtight, the evidence in this room proves that it was him. What do you mean? It'll be easier to explain once you examine it yourself. Well, let us do just that. Oh, Tyrion, I almost forgot. Since this is our first official case together, I wanted to show you something that I learned. Okay, what is it?
Repario Arcanum!
It's voice acting. What was that? That is the incantation for the Detect Magic spell. Ooh, handy. Yup, we can see magical traces while we're examining crime scenes now. Well, let's look around without it first. There are some large windows here. Lecture hall is a window with a view. It's one of the Edge 2 classrooms, right? Yeah. So this is probably this back wall we're looking at. That bit of wall seems too short and there's a closet in the way. So I'm guessing it's this wall back here. I feel like I'd just stare outside all day if I had to attend class here. You're not much of a student, are you? Ugh, I just can't spend hours sitting in one place. I need to move around. How have you learned so many spells if you're so distractible? I don't know, I just learned the spell formula and cast stuff. I see. Is that not normal? Benches. This must be where the students sit during lectures. Ugh, I can't imagine sitting in one place all day. Have you never attended a school before? No, we never had a proper school in Cornhaven. I mainly got my education from books that my parents bought from travelling merchants. What about you? I used to attend a public school in my hometown. But after Miss Trora adopted me, she handled my education personally. Oh, they have books here too. They appear to be textbooks about alchemy. Oh, lame. And who is this? It's a painting of some sort of musician. There's some text written below. Dr. Nicholas Gusteau, inventor of the Arcane engine. His work revolutionized trade and travel across the seas. He was well known for not discriminating between the common folk and the nobility, judging his assistants based purely on their merit. When he wasn't conducting research within the Imperial Academy, he was known to compose symphonies for the king in his free time. Can't believe the professor is dead. We just saw her this morning. There's a chalk outline around where her body was. It appears that most of this blood came from her abdomen. Is that where the fatal wound was? There's a lot of blood in this puddle, but there's no trail leading to it. And there aren't any magical traces anywhere else in the room. I doubt the murderer used magic to clean it. Does that mean the murderer attacked her in this room? Maybe, but it's hard to say for certain.
Repario Arcanum!
Okay, we have two. One around the body. What? What's wrong? There's a trace of necromancy on the body. Necromancy? Isn't necromancy the type of magic that creates undead? She's not just gonna get up and walk away, right? We're honestly not sure. That's part of the reason why I've stationed myself here. What does that have to do with Wallace? Oh, you didn't know. Wallace Nightgrave is a necromancer. He's a what? We believe that he drained her life force completely using a necromancy spell. That's where there are no visible wounds. Here's the autopsy report. It'll tell you everything that you need to know. Died at 2:01 PM. Body shows no signs of cuts or bruising. Alchemist report has verified the death was not caused by poison or disease. Body shows traces of necromancy and illusion magic. Cause of death not apparent, but very likely caused by necromancy magic. No obvious murder weapon then. But in the modern day, even the Inquisition doesn't commonly deal with necromancy. They're all on edge about what other spells he must have used. So I'm here to make sure that nothing unholy happens to the body. But even if Wallace is a necromancer, aren't there plenty of other mages who can cast necromancy spells? This is an academy for mages, after all. Nope, there are no laws against it, but the knowledge required to learn necromancy is heavily controlled. No one in their right mind would dare teach necromancy beyond basic healing magic. Frankly, I'm surprised even one student at this school was allowed to learn it. I can see why. But because of this specific piece of evidence, we know that he's the murderer. No, it isn't. I saw one earlier. She was impressed about how many spells Celeste knew. Was able to learn in one day. Is there something you're not telling us, Steelwind? Because something tells me that this case isn't as straightforward as you claim it is. If you truly believe that, then why don't you prove it? Maybe I'll need to present something then. There's a trace of illusion magic next to the body. We believe that the suspect donned an illusionary disguise immediately after murdering the victim. Using his disguise, he discreetly made his way back to the library unnoticed. How awfully inconvenient. Well, I'm not sure I really have anything to present to you right now. So let's have a little look around the place, shall we? To the kitchen! Hello? Is anyone there? Looks like there's no one here right now. Maybe we should check somewhere else. Or we can look around the room. It's a set of pots for cooking soups and the like. There's a rack of cooking implements hanging from the wall. Valentina must use these to cook for the students. Several commonly used ingredients are close to the cooking area. It's a barrel full of some sort of drink. I wonder. It's probably not lotus juice, Celeste. Oh, it's a plate of bread. They probably serve these as sides to the entrees. Don't get any ideas, Tyrion. What? Remember when we went to that fancy restaurant? You just kept ordering breadsticks and butter. The bread is free! You might as well take advantage of it. You know eating that many carbs isn't good for you. Yeah. There's a large cooking station here. They must prepare the meals in bulk here. There's a large sack of produce in the corner. There's some wine here too. Must be for the professors. They must serve the students' meals on these plates. It's a shame that they had to close the kitchen due to the investigation. And I think that's everything in the room. Though.
Repario Arcanum!
Yeah. It was unlikely, but I had to look and be sure. Oh, hello there. I wasn't expecting guests today. Sorry for coming unannounced. You must be... My name is Theodore Redmond. I'm the headmaster of the Wyvern Imperial Academy. And judging from your appearance, you must be the protege of Ruby Tamura. To what do I owe the pleasure? They must be here to investigate the murder. Wait, Eris? I thought you were sent to see... I thought you went to see Wallace. Unfortunately, the Inquisition is still questioning him right now. They aren't allowing visitors. He must be so scared right now. Hope he's okay. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. I'm an attorney. What can you tell me about this? Oh, my apologies. I've learned a lot in my years, but I can't say much about that. Steelwind told us that you had a bit of a mishap in Lecture Hall 2B. Yes. I was filling in for the alchemy instructor when I accidentally misread the instructions she left. I'm quite embarrassed to admit that my old age is catching up with me. Well, you are 88 to be fair, which is a very impressive age. Older than the judge. And he's still actively headmastering. What can you tell me about this, Mr. Edmund? Not a whole lot. Well, I doubt he's got much to say about anything else. This is terrible. To think that one of my prized students would be accused of murder. We heard your voice on the intercom when the lockdown happened. Are you the one who triggered it? Yes, I activated it when I received a call from one of the staff. They reported that Professor Bellwether had been attacked. How does the lockdown system work? It's an artificery network that covers the entire academy. In the event of an emergency, I can activate it using this stone. Once activated, the system creates magical barriers throughout the building. It's designed to contain and protect each room in the building. Could a powerful mage breach any of those barriers? I doubt it. Barriers can withstand a great amount of force. They even block mages from teleporting through them. And once activated, even I can't turn it off for an hour. Artificery covers the entire building, creates magical barriers, can't be breached with physical or magical force, and they were definitely working because we tried and tested it ourselves. Also blocked teleportation. What can you tell me about Wallace? Earlier you said that he was one of your prized students. I just need to understand. Why did the prosecutor say he was a necromancer? Because, technically, he is one. What? But why would he study something like that? Necromancy is probably one of the most dangerous and most scrutinized schools of magic. Its image has been long tainted by stories of dark wizards raising armies of the undead. However, it doesn't just control the forces of death, it also controls the forces of life. Forces of life? The truth is that healing magic is also classified as necromancy. Most healers don't care to admit it because of the stigma it has. Well, that's why Wallace is studying it. He wants to become a doctor. But there are plenty of mages who know healing magic. Why is Wallace being singled out? For years he's been studying necromancy beyond basic healing magic. He believes that high-level necromancy could revolutionize modern medicine. Unfortunately, many among the facility don't see it that way. Wallace doesn't hail from a noble house. He's a mage that was born among the common folk. He's like me. Many of the faculty fear that he'll use his knowledge to raise armies of undead, just like the necromancers of old. The Imperial Academy isn't even permitted to teach it to students beyond basic healing magic. Then why did you allow him to study it? After everything that has happened to him, I made an exception. Everything that has happened to him? I'm not at liberty to say more. Something about this Emily, whoever that is. You'll have to ask him if you wish to know more. If you plan on defending Wallace, you'll need a spell compendium, am I correct? Yep, having a client's compendium is instrumental to acquitting them. You may find that a bit difficult. You see, after a certain incident, he destroyed his compendium. What? Why would he do that? Doesn't he need that to use magic? The spell compendium is a device mages use to keep track of what spells they can cast. It's really convenient for remembering the formulas and incantations of your spells, but it's not actually required to use magic. I thought of destroying mine a long time ago, but they're really expensive. Luckily, I have an unattuned spell compendium right here. I'd be more than happy to give it to you if it helps Wallace. Oh, thanks. Wallace just needs to maintain physical contact with it for 10 minutes. After that, the compendium will attune to his magic. Just make sure that you don't let another mage like Celeste hold it. Once it attunes to a mage, no one else can use it. Wait, but then how wonderful! I just hope you can persuade Wallace to attune to it. Uh-huh. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether? Wow, that was a whole mess of emotions. She was rather unpleasant to work with. Can you think of any enemies she might have had? You may as well list everyone who attended this school. Eris. It's best to be blunt with these sorts of things. As you saw this morning, she had a pretty abrasive attitude toward the students. Many people in the school did not care for her. Maybe she wasn't the nicest person, but would that really be enough to motivate someone to murder her? She'd often target and harass students, especially those who were from the common folk. She even made a habit of expelling those students from minor infractions. For commoners, magic can be our ticket out of poverty. I can't imagine how it would feel to have that opportunity unfairly taken from you. She put so much pressure on those students. Some of them even left the academy of their own volition. They couldn't handle her constant verbal abuse. Even then, would that really be enough motive to commit murder? The human psyche is a fragile thing. It's astounding what someone might do when pushed far enough. What about her relationship with the faculty? In some cases, it was worse than it was with the students. She'd often treat the staff like her personal servants. I've received many complaints from them about her behaviour. Sorry if this sounds rude, but why didn't you just fire her if she was such a big problem? She's used her position to curry favour with the noble houses over the years. As you can imagine, the Academy's board is controlled by the nobility. If I ever tried to remove her, they would probably support her over me. So, pretty much anybody could have had a motive then. Brilliant. I heard that you had a meeting scheduled with Professor Bellwether this morning. What time was this, and when did the meeting end? Our meeting was scheduled for noon. She arrived on time, and our meeting lasted until 1 PM. Did anything seem off about her to you? No, she seemed to be her usual self. If you don't mind me asking, what was the purpose of your meeting? We met to discuss routine administrative matters. Despite our personal disagreements, we need to stay civil when discussing professional affairs. But to be perfectly honest, it did always feel like I was treading on eggshells when speaking with her. But you were her superior, weren't you? Didn't she respect your authority? We had many arguments about how I was managing the academy, and she was very vocal about her distaste for the common folk students. She was, difficult, to say the least. Right, well. Let's have a little look around this room, shall we? There's a fire. Pretty cozy. There's this fella holding a book. It's a painting of someone. That's Professor Lucas Yulbert. He was an instructor here many decades ago. He was well beloved by the students here, and he was quite the accomplished scholar. And this was all despite him lacking the ability to use magic. He studied magic without actually being able to use it? Yes, he was quite remarkable. Unfortunately, we lost him to illness very early in his life. A window, with a view of a garden. That has a nice view from up here. It's a small table for guests. Is that wine? No, actually it's apple juice. At least it's not grape juice. Most of my guests are students, after all. Fair enough. It's a painting of a mage, but he doesn't quite look like a noble. Oh, that's Jason Steelwind, one of the chosen mages of the Scaled Lord. Wait, Steelwind? As in... Yes, he's the earliest recorded ancestor of House Steelwind. Legends say the Scaled Lord bestowed his power upon him and his allies to create the first mages. Wow, it's hard to even tell that he and the prosecutor belong to the same bloodline. As with all the noble houses, House Steelwind has quite humble beginnings.
Prepario Arcanum!
Nothing. What do you tell me about this? Nothing. Well... I think we'll be moving on then. Hello? Is anyone there? Be right there. Sorry, but the cafeteria's closed right now? You have very red hair. And eyes. Actually, we're here to investigate the murder. We heard that 2 members of the kitchen staff discovered the body. Oh, that would be me? I'm Valentina Inius. How about the other person? Do you know where they are right now? Oh, that would be my sister, Valerie. But I think she's somewhere else on campus right now. If you're with those knights, we've already told them everything we know. Actually, we're investigating separately from them. I wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw. Sure. I'm an attorney? What can you tell me about this, Miss Inius? Sorry, I don't have much to say about that. Nothing. Nothing. Fine, we'll just talk then. To start, can you tell us how you and your sister discovered the body? Right. My sister and I were walking in the hallway from the kitchen to the west exit. We spotted the professor in a nearby classroom. She was lying on the floor and bleeding. I used an emergency communication device to call for help. While I was doing that, my sister tried to wake her up. That would imply that Valerie thought she could be resuscitated. Did she know if the professor was still alive or not? We're not sure, but she wasn't responding at all. She wasn't breathing and she didn't have a pulse. What do you know about the suspect in this case? His name is Wallace Nightgrave. He's a student here. He's that scary kid, right? The one that raises undead? Those are just rumours. He would never do something like that. But he studies necromancy, right? Have you ever actually met him? No, but I've heard the rumours. He's always hanging around the cemetery. I'm sure he's just biding his time, waiting for his chance to raise an army. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether? Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it anymore. She was a horrible person. She was really terrible to all of us. By all of us, do you mean the Academy staff? Yeah, she always treated us like her personal servants. Sometimes she'd make messes on purpose, just so that she could order us to clean it up. This probably sounds terrible, but I'm sure a lot of people are glad that she's gone. Did you ever feel like your job was at risk because of Bellwether? Yes, actually. She was actually planning to fire all the staff. All of the staff? That can't be true, can it? The Academy needs the staff to function. Not sure about the details. It's just what Jan told us. Who's Jan? He's one of the Academy's custodians. You can probably find him cleaning the halls if you look around. Cool, well... Didn't get a whole lot out of you. Nothing. And this is the same conversation. Anything about Eris? Do you know Eris, Ilmater? She's even scarier than that Necromancer! What? I've heard rumours about her, you know. There's just something about her that fills me with dread every time I see her. Have you actually spoken to her before? She's a nice person. She causes some visual glitches and for people to say something different from what they were gonna say, but other than that, she's pretty nice. No, thanks. I'm good. Nobody in the hallway, and not really much to see either. There's a lot of doors. This'll be 2B right here then, yep. I know what hallway we're in. 2H, 2F, 2D.
Repario Arcanum!
Nada. The Inquisition is probably still questioning him. We should come back later. Cell is a barred window. 3-story drop. Locked by magic.
Arcanum!
What's to do next, then? The Imperial Academy is actually quite big when I look at it. Well, of course, we are the primary source of magical education for mages throughout the kingdom. As you may well know, most of the mages enrolled here are of the nobility. Their families have invested a lot into our facilities. Did you know, Eris is one of our top students in the study of illusion magic? Thank you, Headmaster. I appreciate your praise. Why do you study illusion magic, Eris? Oh, no particular reason. I just happen to have an affinity for it. It's also quite enjoyable to use my magic to deceive people. Maybe you don't admit that out loud too often. What do you think about this? Nothing. What do you think about that? Nothing. As a mage from a noble house, you must have gone to school here. Did you know Catherine Bellwether while you were here? Unfortunately, I did. I constantly clashed with her over her treatment of the students. One of my biggest regrets is failing to remove her from her position before I graduated. I would say more, but it doesn't feel right to speak ill of the dead. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? We have already done that. Didn't really expect that to produce a different result. Oh, well, just get out of your way then. Wow, she just bolted out the room. What was that about?
Repario Arcanum.
What was that about indeed? Jan, where have you been? You still haven't fixed the plumbing in the kitchen sinks. Ugh, someone just died. Can we take the day off for once? You're causing trouble for me and Valentina. Please be reasonable. Oh, hello. Valentina? Oh, my apologies. I can see why you're confused. I'm not Valentina. I'm her sister, Valerie. Are you trying to trick us or something? You look exactly the same. You two are identical twins, aren't you? You're both genetically identical to each other? Yes, we are. Since we have you here, do you mind if I ask you some questions about what happened? I'm terribly sorry, but I've already spent a lot of time looking for Jan here. I'm really behind on my work. But Jan was also nearby when we discovered the body. I'm sure he can answer your questions. Uh-huh. There's a lot of suspicious people around here. Wait! Do you want me to go after her? I'm pretty sure I can catch up to her. No, we don't want to scare those two more than we already have. Jan, was it? Do you mind if we ask you some questions about what happened? Ugh, really? Well, whatever. At least I have an excuse to take a break now. Well, there's nothing to examine. I already checked. I'm an attorney. What can you tell me about this? I don't know. It's not my department. He's not very helpful. So, Jan, are you a part of the staff here? Yep, I'm a janitor. I clean, and I do odd jobs here and there. Valerie mentioned that you were close to Lecture Hall 2B before they found Bellwether. What were you doing when the twins discovered the body? I was cleaning the halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase, and there were shards and dirt everywhere. Wait, you saw the professor before the twins arrived? Yeah, like I said, she broke the vase right in this hallway. It was probably 20 to 30 minutes before the twins found the body. might have been the last person to see her alive. Did you see where she went after breaking the vase? Yeah, I think she went into that room over there. 2B. Did you see anyone else enter the lecture hall? I'm honestly not sure. I was more worried about cleaning the mess she made. Well, did you notice anything off about her? She was in a pretty bad mood. But honestly, that's pretty normal for her. She was walking real slow. I didn't notice her at first, and she basically shoved me out of her way. After that, she knocked over that vase. I didn't even say anything after that, but she still yelled at me to be quiet. Did you see where she went after that? Not really. The only thing in that direction is Lecture Hall 2B. Or the storage closet. I can't imagine her going anywhere else. Except maybe the storage closet. Yeah, this explicitly says 2B. So let's assume it was. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether? I've heard that she had a pretty bad relationship with the staff. She had a bad relationship with just about everyone. Students, the other teachers. I don't think of many people actually did get along with her. I'm sure you had your own share of bad experiences with her. Yeah, she'd always yell at me when I was taking too long to get a job done. I hate to say it, but things are a lot more peaceful around here without her. Valentina mentioned something interesting. Did you tell her that Bellwether was going to fire the Academy staff? Yeah, I remember that. Why do you think that she was going to do something like that? You know those arcane constructs in the library? Bellwether was the one who ordered them. Oh yeah, they're so cool! Well, a few weeks ago I overheard a meeting she was having with the headmaster. What I heard, she was planning to order more constructs to entirely replace the staff. Oh. Well, I'm sure the headmaster rejected her proposal. I don't know. From the way she was talking, it sounded like he didn't have a say in the matter. But only the headmaster would have the authority to fire the staff. How would she be that confident? Dunno. All I know is that she hated having common folk in the schools, even among the staff. She was really miffed that he was hiring common folk from the community centre. Are you aware of the foul-smelling lecture hall 2B? Yeah. Luckily, Arya isn't letting anyone into the lecture hall till the investigation's over. But I'll probably have to get to it eventually. Ugh. Alchemical messes are always a pain to clean up. I am not looking forward to that. I wonder if Arya can help me out like she used to. Wait, do you personally know Prosecutor Steelwind? She studied here a few years ago. She'd always help me out using her magic. I miss that. That was working under Headmaster Redmond. It's great. I owe a lot to him for getting me this job. But I suppose these things never last. Well, I have amassed quite the supply of evidence. I wonder if they're done here yet. They are, in fact, done here yet. Hello. Wallace? Yep. Who are you? What do you want? Wallace, it's Celeste and Tyrion. From the library, remember? Oh, right. How are you doing? Apparently, not well. Please tell me you're gonna get me out of here. I keep telling them that I didn't do it, but they still won't let me go. I'm sorry, Wallace, but they found traces of necromancy magic on the body. And because of that, they're gonna push your case to trial. What? This can't be happening. But please calm down, we know that you're innocent. With that said, would you let me represent you in court? Oh, right, you said that you were a lawyer. But I don't really have any money to pay you with. Don't worry about that. For now, let's just focus on getting you acquitted. But what? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anyways. It's not like I have anything else to lose. I am, in fact, an attorney. What can you tell me about this? I don't understand. I was with you in the library the entire time. But why do they still think I'm the murderer? You told the Inquisition, right? Did you tell them that I'm innocent? We did, but as we said before, there are traces of necromancy on the body. And with the state of the body, they believe that she was murdered with a necromancy spell. Apparently, that makes you their prime suspect. I see. Wallace, we heard about the type of magic that you were studying. Don't worry. The headmaster explained it to us already. You just want to use necromancy to become a doctor, right? I understand that you have reservations about talking about your magic, but in order to build a case for you, I need your spell compendium. I don't have one. I know, Iris already told us about that. That's why she gave us a blank one for you to attune to. Do I have to? It's your life on the line, and we need all the information we can get to help you. Sorry, you're right. I'll attune to it. 10 minutes later. Prestidigitation. Mend wounds, illusionary disguise. Ugh, that's annoying. Revive, animate corpse, and necrotic blight. Simple, harmless visual effect. We've seen that one before. Heals the wounds of the target over the casting time. Wounds on the target are magically healed without leaving any scars or bruises. Can't restore missing limbs, nor can it revive someone who has already died. Illusionary disguise. Completely change your visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration, which is 1 hour. Can make the target look 1 foot smaller or larger. Elements hidden by the disguise are made invisible. Elements created are purely visual. Cannot make physical contact with it. Revive. Floods the target with life energy in an attempt to resuscitate them. Does not heal wounds sustained. Results may vary. Cannot resuscitate someone who has been dead for more than a minute. Reanimates the target using life energy, creating an undead minion for the duration. The minion follows the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and it cannot speak. Minion can end the spell prematurely, but will only do so if ordered by the caster. Puts all the life energy from the target, resulting in instant death. Does not wound the target, nor does it leave any physical evidence, but still leaves a magical trace. Sorry, I know I was being difficult. A long time ago, I showed my compendium to someone I trusted. After she saw my necromancy spell, she told everyone in the academy. That's also when Professor Bellwether started coming after me. I'm sorry, that must have been hard for you. But at least you had Eris. Yeah, I did. How did you and Eris become friends anyways? Oh, it's a bit of a strange story. Sometimes the other students would steal the ID number off my locker, and they'd switch it with the one on another locker. I thought it was funny whenever they only got angry with me. Eris had a bit of a reputation around our school. I'm not sure why, but everyone was scared of her, even the students from the nobility. It's probably due to some baseless rumours. One day someone switched my nameplate with hers. I was so scared when she approached me, I couldn't even say anything. But she didn't get angry like the others. She just apologized and gave me back my nameplate. After that, she randomly started talking to me whenever she saw me. We became friends after that. So, I have to ask, if it's caused you so much trouble, why are you still studying necromancy? I want to use it to become a doctor. The headmaster told us the same thing, but you could have just stopped after learning the healing spells. Why are you learning spells that can steal people's life force and raise undead? Life or death are two sides of the same coin. That's the key principle behind necromancy. The first undead was actually a failed attempt to resurrect a human using magic. Wow, I never knew that. Right now, basic necromancy can only heal injuries and wounds, but it can't do anything for diseases or deformities. If I could keep studying, I know that I could create a new type of necromancy. One that can cure diseases and save lives. Pretty sure it did. I think I can already guess the answer to this question, but how is your relationship with Catherine Bellwether? It's exactly what you'd expect. After word got out about what I was studying, Professor Bellwether would always target me. She'd start yelling at me for the smallest mistakes. She'd do that to some of the other students too, and she'd focus on the ones who were poor like me. It's terrible. I'd wake up each day dreading the possibility that she'd notice me in the hallways. I knew you had to avoid her and stay out of her way, but sometimes she'd just come looking for me. I can't believe that after everything she did, she's just gone. I must have mixed emotions about what happened. I honestly don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, I'd always wish she would just disappear. But now that it's finally happened, I feel even more afraid. I think I'm starting to put things together now. Have you figured something out? Yeah, I just need to take some time to think through everything. The prosecution wants to implicate Wallace despite his alibi. They wouldn't have a reason to do this unless the evidence heavily implicated him. We've learned that Wallace is a necromancer, and he's the only person at the Academy that's capable of high-level necromancy. There's a trace of necromancy on the body. This means that they think Wallace used one of his necromancy spells. Even without seeing the traces, it's pretty obvious that magic was used on the body. Right, because there weren't any wounds on it. And the autopsy report found no signs of poison or disease. If I know Prosecutor Steelwind, she probably already has a theory on which spell he might have used. The prosecution will probably argue that Wallace used one of his spells to kill Bellwether. They'll probably say that he used Necrotic Blight. That makes sense. Necrotic Blight would have drained the life force from her body. That's where the contradiction lies. Let's suppose that Wallace did kill Bellwether using Necrotic Blight. There's something at the crime scene that wouldn't be there if that were true. Well, the update to the evidence kind of just gave it away. Necrotic Blight is a spell that doesn't inflict any visible wounds. There shouldn't have been any blood on the body. But then, what really happened? That's the last piece. And if I had to guess, the information we need is being hidden by one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Valentina? She's definitely hiding something. Did you notice how she reacted when I asked you to scan the room? Yeah, she ran away. She didn't even try to be subtle about it. But the way she reacted, I think she may have been trying to hide herself from your detect magic. Which can only mean that there's a magical trace on her. I wonder what she's trying to hide. Here's a new one way to find out. Fight! Wait, no. The next time you see her, could you subtly cast Detect Magic and scan her? Alright. It's been a while since we talked to her. Valerie also mentioned that they still had work to do today. She might be back in the Academy's kitchen now. Let's move along over there, then. Those two are finally gone. I can finally get some cleaning done. Okay, there she is. Use Detect Magic to scan her from here. Right. Just don't shout the incantation like you always do. But I know that. Alright, here goes. Reparo Arcanum. What the? What is it? There's a trace of magic on her. I knew it. Which school of magic is it? It's Necromancy. There's a trace of Necromancy on her. What? What do we do now? For now, let's talk to her and see if we can get more information out of her. If all else fails, we can confront her with the evidence we have. Oh, it's you two again. Miss Ineas, did you know that there's a trace of necromancy on Bellwether's body? That's what he used to kill the professor, right? A necromancy spell? That's the thing. If that were true, a lot of the evidence we found doesn't make sense. I think someone else cast a spell on the body. Is it possible that you saw someone use magic on Bellwether? No, definitely not. Well, I've already filled that one up, so, Let's do this thing. More concerned with protecting herself than doing the right thing, will continue to hide her secrets unless they think that doing so is dangerous for her. If she sees Wallace as a villainous necromancer and will not feel pity for him. Miss Ineas, from the very beginning I felt like you've been hiding something from us. Something that you're not telling us about. What are you talking about? I've told you on the nights everything I know. I've got nothing to hide. Miss Ineas, it's clear to everyone how nervous you are. I can practically see the fear you're emanating right now. Just tell us the truth. It'll be a lot easier for the both of us. Let's say I were hiding something, which I'm not, by the way. Why should I tell you anything? I know my rights. You've already given your statement to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do when they realize you lied to them? Who are you protecting, Miss Ineas? You talk a big game, but I bet you can't actually prove anything, can you? You think I'm lying to protect someone? I don't even know any mages, and I definitely didn't see anyone use magic on the body. No. Well, let's just go for the obvious then, shall we? No need to get fancy with it. You can't hide the truth from us, Miss Ineas. But what? You said that you've never even seen a necromancy spell before. If that were true, then why is there a trace of necromancy on you? Wait, what? There's a trace of necromancy on me? What? Did she not know about the spell that was cast on her? This is crazy. Why is there a trace of necromancy on me? Am I going to die? Am I going to become a zombie? Calm down, Messinius. Not all necromancy spells relate to the undead. Healing spells are also from the school of necromancy. Healing spells? She? So sorry, I just remembered that there's something else I have to do. I'll be right back. Hey, come back here. Ugh, she ran away again. I can catch her. There's no way she can outrun me. No, the Inquisition's still stationed around the surrounding areas. They'd probably intervene if we started harassing one of the witnesses. That's true. But we weren't able to learn anything. Actually, I did learn one thing. She has a friend who cast a healing spell on her. Really? How do you figure that out? Good deductive reasoning. Wow. Well, healing magic is also a form of necromancy, right? I guess that explains the trace on her. It's a good thing we know Wallace. Otherwise, we might have also thought that the necromancer was trying to kill her. That's it. What, did you figure something out? This whole time, we'd been wondering why there's a trace of necromancy on the body. It isn't because someone attacked Bellwether with a necromancy spell, it's because someone used necromancy in an attempt to heal her. Oh, I see. It doesn't matter what type of necromancy spell someone uses. Spells from the same school of magic leave the same type of trace. It's not just that, the body clearly has blood on it. What would happen if someone used a healing spell on a wounded body? It would close all that body's wounds. In other words, it would remove any cuts or bruises. Well, interrogating Valentina may have been a dead end, but it still gave us just what we needed to win this case. Not so sure that was a dead end. What do you mean? It's not that suspicious that they asked someone to heal her if she injured herself. Well, I jumped the gun slightly, but I think the deductive reasoning I came up with by presenting that one piece of evidence was still correct, and it's going to come back later. So, But if it's only that, why did she go to so much trouble to hide it? It's too coincidental. The wounds on the body were healed by an unknown person. And the person who found the body is hiding the identity of a healer. They have to be the same person. I guess that makes sense. So, what do we do now? Valentina's definitely on to us. I hope we'll get a third chance to speak with her. Hopefully what we have now is enough to equip Wallace. I demand to know why you're still holding on to my rapier. It's a precious family heirloom, and I want it back. It's evidence in the current case. Evidence? The professor was killed with a necromancy. Was she, though? Why are you asking me? You're the one who's investigating this. I suppose it doesn't matter. Just know that I will bring her murderer to justice. No matter who it may be.